You brought up your Georgia and Alabama territory days. Talk to me about what that was like when you got started.
It was 6 nights a week, same town every week. One would be we called them spot shows, and it would be, like a little National Guard armory or a middle school gym but it would be different towns. But all the other towns, Birmingham, Mobile, Pensacola, um, Dothan, all those same we were in those same towns on the same night, every week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was Pensacola. So everybody lived in Pensacola because it was the beach, and all the towns were, fairly short drives. We could leave at 5 o'clock, except for Birmingham, which was a 4 hour drive. Everything you could leave at 5 o'clock, be home by 1 in the morning, and next morning you get up, go to the gym, go to the beach, hang out all day, head back, shower, go on to the next town. I mean, it was this territory was awesome, and um, with that schedule being said, every wrestler in the United States, everyone in the world wanted to be here in the Pensacola territory
Mhm.
because you could be on the beach every day and short trips and make pretty good money. And so I had the benefit then of working with some of the top talent that would come in here, and just learn from them. I'll tell you this: Tommy Gilbert, Doug Gilbert, Eddie Gilbert, the late Eddie Gilbert. His dad, Tommy Gilbert, was an old school wrestler. And look, when I started, it was, tag team spots with Brad. So it was spot, 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 spot. I still hadn't learned at that time how to actually wrestle on the mat, uh, learn how to operate in front of the people without my brother. And I'll never forget Tommy Gilbert coming in here and me getting in the car and saying and I told Tommy this story before he passed away. I said, I told him the story. I told my dad, I said, Dad, I got to wrestle somebody else. This guy's old. He doesn't want to do anything. Just, I was young. I thought I knew everything. I had to get old and realize I don't know Jack. But he, I'll never forget my dad said, Boy, you ever say another negative word about that man, I'll pull this car over and slap your ass. You got me? And I said, I didn't even know what I'd said. I said, Yes, sir, I do. And he said, if you'll just shut your mouth and realize you don't know shit about this business, he will teach you everything about wrestling. And 6 months later, Tommy left the territory, and I cried when he left and hugged his neck and told him, I said, Dude, I'll cry telling you about it. I said, I'll owe you the rest of my life, man. What a good human being he was. And he literally taught me what I did and made a living doing for the next 20 years. So yeah, I owe that dude a lot. But anyway, back to your original question. The territory was awesome. Oh my gosh. After Tommy left, I ended up me and Arn Anderson were roommates for about a year, and holy mackerel. I was just wrong on so many levels.
Yeah, that whole era. Yeah, I didn't get to, I watched the territory, man, I wish so much I would have been born into it because it was a good territory and it was a good time and there was money to be made. It was really good at that time. I just missed it. I missed it by that much.
Lessons of life learned, and we're learning about the career of Scott Armstrong, and there's so much more to talk about, but let's take a minute to save with Conrad, and when we come back, more questions for both of you and a deeper dive into Scott's career. We'll be back. We're back and jumping right into it, and I'll ask this to both of you. Who was the best wrestler of the family?
Brad,
Bad by far. Yeah.
it's not even a it's
No,
not even a question.
there's no question.
And there's no shame in
Uh,
admitting you're not as good as Brad Armstrong because
no,
like
not
like
at all.
like the legendary Ric Flair that we've talked about already said, top 5, maybe top 3. Ooh, somebody's got a motorcycle. Or either that's
That was
maybe
so
this is
loud,
time
I was
maybe this
my door and window if it was
hey, maybe this is time we go to the Taco Bell promotion. Oh, crap, I forgot what I
No,
was
you
saying.
both say Brad on that, so let's go
Oh,
Top,
yeah,
yeah,
Brad.
best
Yeah,
yeah,
no
entertainer in the family.
for sure. I mean, there's no doubt.
I Dog, I
yeah.
think his mic cut out and you didn't even get to hear him say your name. It was just like, "Yeah, for sure." But I think he said
Yeah,
Ryan.
it's a given. It's a
Yeah,
given.
I don't know. I appreciate that though.
You're so humble, dog.
Well, I don't, look, I try to say what I mean and mean what I say, and I don't like to, I don't
You don't
mind
like to
saying Brad
brag,
was
but
the
earlier
best.
we were
Yeah.
talking bravado and being braggadocious.
Hey, so let
So
me tell this story.
just saying my worth.
Tell it, Scotty.
All right. So Brian was just starting to wrestle in WCW, but Brian, I think you were living back at home at that time, weren't you?
No, I lived with Brad in Marietta.
Oh, okay. And so all of a sudden we're at our parents' house. Brian comes walking in, and he had got the braids put in. And back then that didn't happen. Nobody had braids, nobody. And he walked in, and the brother, me, Steve, and Brett, we laughed hysterically and said, and Brian got so pissed off, and he just went and got in his car and left with a bunch of expletives towards the brothers.
Yeah.
And
You
we
guys were being
laughed,
mean to me.
and then we get to it was WCW TV, right? And
Yeah.
he's our partner, and we're messing with him so bad because of those braids. And then the next thing you know, a few weeks go by, and JJ Dillon calls him and says, "So you ready to come to work for the Giant W and WWF at the time?" And I'll never forget this line. Brian told him, "Oh, well, I mean, you know what they've done to me here on TV for the last year or so." And he said, "What they've done to you in a year, we can change in 30 seconds. And the
Yeah.
rest is history."
Yeah, and he's right. I mean, people get so upset now watching TV and they go, "Oh, they didn't do this the way I wanted them to." And it's like, really? Yeah, next week we'll be back on and get another opportunity to make you
Uh,
happy.
yeah, the braids were a killer, man. They were. And then it became the signature. It became. I'll never forget the time me and my at the time my daughter was probably 4 or something, or 5, and my son was 2 or 3. Anyway, we walk into Walmart with Brian, and they had just had, Walmart has their morning rallies where everybody gets in a circle and heavy, and fire each other up before they go out into or used to anyway. And we literally walked past that group, and everybody just turned around. That's how strong Brian and Billy were at the time on TV. And within minutes, they had all gone and bought every action figure of the Road Dog in Walmart. And we're coming up to him and saying, "Will you sign this, please?" The manager was raising hell with him, saying, "You can't do that. Come on." And then we walk down the party aisle, and there's paper plates with the bulldog with the braids. And I remember saying, "Geez, those braids have made so much money."
I remember Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan was a commentator in WCW at the time, and he would call me Whoopi Armstrong because of the braids. And it actually just was, in retrospect and knowing what I know now, like that was just promotion, and I didn't even know it was going on. But he was talking about my hair the whole time I'm doing a job for somebody else.
Right. Yeah, Armstrong curse, man.
I
Yeah,
had my
yeah,
braided hair back in those days, and we're talking mid-90s. I think it's one of the reasons I went
yeah,
bald was pulling it all the time.
Oh,
yeah. It hurt.
I
too
question
much.
both of you guys.